Okay. Hi guys, Ike here. Welcome back to Live Richly, where I give you guys the best tips and tools to better understand the world of personal finance so you guys can reach your goals and get ahead. Okay, so one of the reasons why this video is delayed is that I'm a bit uncomfortable talking about this topic. And this is actually a subscriber requested video. So just letting you guys know, hit me up if you want me to cover any specific topic. Now, back to the video. I think this topic is super important, but I don't want it to come off mansplaining. The financial system is, well, a bit sexist and it disadvantages women. So we're gonna go over some of the hurdles that women face, and if you stay towards the end of this video, I'll have 4 tips, and hopefully you can use these to navigate your finances and structure them a bit differently. But so that you guys know, I'm not your financial advisor. I haven't taken your situation into account. I'm all about saving you guys time and money. There are timestamps in this video, so please feel free to skip through to the section that you feel is most relevant to you. So if you just want to go straight to the tips, go straight to the tips. But on a side note, I learned a lot when making this video. It's a very complex topic, and trying to put everything in a short video is not possible. So I will be putting all my other findings on my Instagram page. I'm gonna try to turn them into infographics that you guys can refer to. So feel free to subscribe to my Instagram. I'll link in the description below, or if I figure out how to put it on the screen, I'll put it on the screen. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm sure that you'd have heard of the gender pay gap. And on average, women get paid between 14 and 19% less than men for doing the exact same job. Like seriously, the exact same thing, right? So I thought we're actually making headway in reducing the gender pay gap. But guys, from research from 2017, that's 3 years ago, showed that on average, female graduates are paid $5,000 less than their male counterparts for doing the same job. Again, I have to repeat, the same job. So anyway, all this gender pay gap nonsense results in a retirement gap or a superannuation gap. So women retire with 42% less funds than men. And according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the ABS, women spend a quarter of their life in retirement. And with the advances in medicine, people living healthier lifestyles now, that's actually projected to increase in the next 30 years or so. So you have women with 42% less funds in their retirement than men do. And they're expected to spend 25 to 30 years of their life in retirement. So the average retirement income for a 60 to 65-year-old woman is about $157,000. So can you live off $157,000 for the next 30 years or so? So not only do we have the gender pay gap and now the superannuation gap is the issues that women face, there's also the double penalty effect of women having children. So on average, women take between 12 and 18 months off when they have children. This results in slower career progression for women and impacts their future earning potential. So also the parental payments that you get from government don't have a super guarantee component like the income you get from your employer. So even though you're getting an income when you're on maternity leave, there's nothing going into your superannuation. It's not uncommon when women who've had multiple children return to the workforce, and it's usually to a reduced role with a reduced salary. And it's not just the financial system that disadvantages women. So it's also how unpaid work is distributed within the home. Because women usually spend 5 hours more per week doing housework compared to men. And yeah, looking back, I've actually been guilty of this one. And the impact of having a second shift is it makes it harder for women to pursue other sources of income, like a side hustle or a second job maybe, because they've got all this other unpaid work at home that they have to do or they're expected to do. So we've got the gender pay gap, which leads to the superannuation gap. And now we've got the second shift where women spend more time at home doing unpaid work than men do. And then you have the double penalty when you do have children, and worse if you have multiple children. And this goes on and on and on. We haven't even talked about the impact of divorce, being a single parent, and on average, more women take time off work to be carers, be it for an elderly parent, a family member, or their children. So it is a bit overwhelming when you do lay it all out. So what is the government doing about this? Well, if the new budget that came out last week is any indication, not much. Because the federal budget is biased towards male-dominated industries, such as construction, which is 86% by the way. So no other industry is as male-dominated as the construction industry is. And they get a bulk of the stimulus. And I get it. I studied economics. And I get the idea of stimulating the economy by investing in infrastructure. But female-dominated industries, which have been the worst hit by COVID, and we're talking education, healthcare, hospitality, retail, didn't get much in the form of stimulus from the government. And the tax cuts that were introduced favor people who want higher salaries. And if you remember our old friend, the gender pay gap, the people who want higher salaries are men. And how about the tax concessions for retirement accounts or your superannuation accounts? These again favor wealthy people, and gender pay gap, men are the main beneficiaries of these policies. So yeah, it does suck to be a woman when you're trying to secure your financial future. So you have to do it yourself. You have to be proactive and secure your own future. So let's get into some of the tips for this video. Tip number 1, investing. I've done a beginner's guide to investing if you had not investing your money currently. I'll link that video in the description, or if I can annotate it on the screen, I'll put it up on the screen. The thing that you need to get is the earlier you start, the better. And it doesn't matter how much you start. You just have to start and make it a habit. You need as little as $5 with some investing platforms. But the key thing is you just have to start. So if you're still on the fence about investing, or you lack the confidence, or you're not quite sure, on average, women make better investors than men. And according to the research, women achieve better returns than men. And one of the main reasons for this is men trade 50% more than women do in most cases. And the more you trade, the more costs you incur. The more costs you incur, the more it eats into your returns. So on average, if you look at a retail investor's portfolios, women perform better. I'll link that article in the description as well. So tip number 2, review your budgeting and cash flow. So what I've learned working in financial advice is that budgeting and cash flow management are 2 areas where a lot of people struggle. So review how much it costs to be you, how much it costs to fund the lifestyle that you live. And the easiest way to do this is to take your income, subtract the tax that you pay, and there's a bunch of like salary calculators that you can use to deduct this. Subtract the amount that you save if you are saving anything, and what you have left over, that calculation is how much it costs to live the life that you're currently leading. So when you see this number, the lifestyle number, just look around and see, where's your money going? Is there a better way for you to use this money? Okay, so tip number 3, engage more with your superannuation. Find out how much money you need for retirement. And this is something that a financial advisor can help you do. How do you engage more with your superannuation? Choose a low-cost fund. So the government recently announced the superannuation review platform or website. I'm not sure what form it's going to take yet, but you'll be able to compare superannuation funds based on performance and fees. So this is going to be a great tool for you to assess, are you getting the most bang for your buck? Consolidate your superannuation funds. It will save you a lot in fees. Contribute more to superannuation if you can. If you do have the surplus, consider contributing more, but this is something you should probably consider after having a conversation with a financial advisor. You can also engage with your superannuation. Just check your insurance. if you have no dependents, do you need a life insurance policy in super? Or if you're not, and if you're in unpaid work, like let's say you're a stay-at-home mom, do you need that income protection policy that you have? Because you can't claim on income protection if you don't have an income to protect. And if you have a partner, you could consider spousal contributions or contribution splitting, where you get some of your partner's superannuation contributions. And the fourth tip is review your insurance, right? Especially if you have a partner, make sure that their insurance policy is up to date, because most people have insurance policies in superannuation and they never actually review them or update them. Because when you buy a property, you should update your insurance. When you have children, you should update your insurance. And tip number 5, consider using a service like Super Rewards. And I didn't know this existed until I was doing research for this video. But essentially, it's a cashback program where instead of giving you the cash, they invest the money in your superannuation account if you shop on their platform and from certain retailers. And we're talking some pretty big names here. eBay, Apple, Woolworths. You could buy your groceries and have cash back going into your superannuation. The music is playing, so it's time for me to wrap this up. So please let me know if you got any value from this video. A like would go a really long way. Consider subscribing. I'm hoping to get to 100 subscribers, so help me out. Also consider sharing this video with someone who you think might get some value from it or might like it. I'll be posting more information on this topic on my Instagram. Link is in the description. And that note, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and don't forget to call your mom. Peace!